Hey guys, it's Desperate48 here. I know that I don't normally upload during the week, but I have more or less finished with school and have the free time, and there's a ban list that's going, in theory, coming out soon, so I thought it might be a good idea to do a wish list and a prediction list, and I'm just going to do that in the same video. So, I'm doing this based off of a couple things here, kind of. I'm doing this based off of one, the idea that Konami only bans stuff and cards based on official tournaments, and since there haven't been any while we've been under all of this, I'm not really trying to do this based off of the current meta right now, because again, there have been no official tournaments. This is more especially the wish list. This is more kind of things I think that Konami can do just with previous tournaments and looking at previous cards. Because all the things that are really in the meta right now are kind of too new to be banned. Crystron Halqifibrax, Adamancipator, Eldritch, like these are all too new, and if Konami bans them, they won't sell products. So these cards are not being considered for the ban list here. This is, again, just based off previous products, as well as official tournaments that have happened before we hit all the stuff that's going on right now. With that being said, I'm going to go into the wish list first. For that, none of these lists are super big for me, so, you know, they're not long or whatever. For band, wow, can't speak. I have Mist Valley Apex Avian. And the reason for this is because of the Infinite Negate combo, which I'm sure we're all aware of to some extent. If you aren't aware of this, there is a combo you can do with the Simorgh Link, Raid Raptor, Wise Strix, a Dark Winged Beast tuner, and just a bunch of other things. Or not even a bunch of other things, but there's a way to get a combo on the field that can infinitely negate things. And one of the key pieces in that is Mist Valley Apex Avian, and people already only play one of it, so I couldn't be like, oh, let's limit this, because then it wouldn't do anything. I think banning it is the best way to hit the combo without, just banning cards that are super new. Because again, if we ban the Simorgh Link, then people wouldn't buy Dual Overload. So I think banning Mist Valley Apex Avian or Mist Valley Thunderbird, one of the two, because those are the two kind of like key components in this combo. Banning one of them will just get rid of this Infinite Negate combo, and I think that banning Mist Valley Apex Avian would be the best one out of those two to ban, because in all honesty, Mist Valley Thunderbird isn't really the broken one here. Mist Valley Apex Avian is the one that does the bouncing and the negations and stuff. Next off, for limited, I only have 3 cards here, and again, this is part of the wish list, so you can take this with a grain of salt if you wish. For one of them is Jet Synchron. That card is ridiculous. It is almost just it in and of itself is not broken. However, with other combo pieces around it, it's just ridiculous. Like, it is, again, like in these combo pieces, it is the broken piece. But again, these other combo pieces came out so recently that if Konami banned or touched any of them, they wouldn't sell products. And the thing is, Konami needs to sell products. They are a business. So I think that limiting Jet Synchron, because these decks are playing like 2 to 3 Jet Synchron as well as like 2 to 3 tuning, that's essentially 4 to 6 just copies of Jet Synchron. So I think that limiting Jet Synchron will not permanently take care of the issue. However, as it is now with Jet Synchron and tuning completely unlimited, people have access to essentially 6 copies of Jet Synchron and 6 ways to do all this like crazy combo stuff that can end on like a quadrillion negates and like a million damage and stuff like on the field. So I think that limiting Jet Synchron, because banning it, I don't think is the way to go. I don't think that outright banning it is a good idea. I think that it's not that broken of a card in and of itself, but I think that limiting it and effectively putting everyone at just 4 copies of it, statistically, if you have 4 copies of something in a 40 card deck, you draw 5, your odds of having either one of the tunings or Jet Synchron in your starting hand is significantly lower than if you have 3 tuning and 3 Jet Synchron. So I think that Jet Synchron going to limited will be a good way to kind of balance out the meta a bit. Again, it doesn't hit anything super recent. Like it's not like, banning Eldritch the Golden Lord, or it's not like straight up banning Adam Emancipator Researcher. It's not like immediately touching these decks. However, it is a key piece in a lot of the meta right now, and limiting it will kind of not slow everything down, but I believe it will give a nice change of pace to the meta and the game that's going on right now. But enough about that. The next card I want to be limited is Mystic Mine. I really wanted to put this in banned, but Mystic Mine should not be banned. It is not a broken card in and of its own, but it is an unhealthy card. And what that means is a broken card is one that it not necessarily does everything, but it does a whole lot. So trying to think of examples. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but the card with the 3 T's, that's either Pot of Greed or Forceful Sentry or Change of Hearts, I think it is. That is a card that does everything, and I think that a format or 2 after its release, it's going to get put on the ban list, but that's for a later video, potentially. Mystic Mine is just unhealthy. There are ways around it, like any spell or trap removal can take care of it. Imperial Order can take care of it. It is not so broken or so unhealthy a card that it needs to just be banned, but I believe that it stops the game too much. And when you go, I'm not saying it's a bad card. It's a very good card. It's a very powerful card. However, if you're going to a tournament and you face someone and they drop a Mystic Mine, if you have no ways to out that, you just almost outright lose match 1, or whatever match you're in. I think that it stops the game too much, and it essentially creates a very one-sided way where only one person is really getting to play the game, unless you naturally have outs in your deck. Cosmic Cyclone, Mystical Space Typhoon, Shadal Dragon when sent to the graveyard. Although I believe that is also stopped by Mystic Mine. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, or I'll just correct myself after I film this. But I think that it is unhealthy at 3, and I think that semi-limiting it does nothing. If it's at 3 and you just take 1 copy out, with Metaverse and terraforming and just other ways to search field spells, it won't do a whole lot just semi-limiting it. I think that limiting it is the right way to go. It significantly lowers your chances of getting it in your starting hand and being able to start playing it. But again, outright banning it I think is a little too much. This is why I had to specify that this is the wish list. I have going to 1 limited is Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, and I know it's never going to happen. I know that Pendulum Magician is a very, very strong deck, and I know that bringing it back to 1 will only just break the deck beyond comprehension. That being said, I am a Pendulum Magician player. I literally have my one specific special deck box for my Endymion deck, and I'm holding on to my Electromite just in case, but I really want the card to come back because a Pendulum Magician deck with Electromite and Selene would just be so much fun to play, not fun to play against. Kind of like Mystic Mine, but this is my own hypocrisy, because I recognize that if Heavy Metal Foes Electromite comes back, the meta will be broken. It'll just be Mystic Mine all over the place. On to semi-limited. Again, this is just my own bias in this first one. I have Servant of Endymion. I think that it in and of itself is not so powerful that it needed to be limited. I don't think it needed to be limited. Having it at 3 does make it and the deck a lot more powerful. However, I think that Konami should have just semi-limited it, because in that same list, they outright banned Electromite. And I believe in this, that was the same list that they also banned Tempest Magician, which I was never using, which is my fault, but whatever. But no, I don't think Servant is so strong, so broken, so anything to have just outright been limited. I think that it should have gone to semi-limited. Again, that is like my bias as a Pendulum Magician player, so you can take that with a grain of salt. And then next on the semi-limited list is Thunder Dragon Colossus, which I'm also a Thunder Dragon player. I recognize, yet again, I recognize my bias there. However, I don't think it should have been banned. Okay, scratch that. At the time of the ban list, yes, banning, not a bad idea. However, with the current meta, with just how stupidly broken Adamancipator and Eldritch are, like just with how much of a powerhouse those decks are, I think that Konami could bring Thunder Dragon Colossus to semi-limited, and I fully believe that the meta would stay Eldritch and Adamancipator, and that Thunder Dragon would just really go back to a kind of more rogue tier kind of deck. Colossus is a very, very strong card, but I think in the current meta and what we have now, I don't think it will do a whole lot. And then I have 2 cards coming to Unlimited here. Those are ABC Dragon Buster and Totally Awesome. And I think everyone I've talked to agrees with this. They should not have been hit at all. I think almost the entire fan base was excited for this. People were like almost nutting over ABC Dragon Buster. Like, I like 3 days before that the ban list came out, I was in talking with my friend Invoked 101, and he was so excited. Like, he was ready. He was fully prepared to come out with ABC and just kick ass in the like following formats, with Master 05 coming in. And then you got limited, and just it almost felt like the spirit of the deck was taken out. Like, so many people were excited for it, and then it just nothing. Like, I think that hitting them was wrong. It paved way for Adamancipator and Eldritch to come in and take over the meta, which in theory, like, potentially could have been Konami's point in limiting both ABC Dragon Buster and Totally Awesome, you know, to make these products sell, because now they're huge in the meta. I don't think that was necessary. I think that those decks would be just as strong as they are now, but, you know, there would be some type of contender there with ABC Dragon Buster or Totally Awesome. Again, like, I think those cards should not have gotten hit. If anything, semi-limited, like limiting both of them was, at least in my opinion, not a good choice. But that is my wish list. Now we're gonna do my actual like prediction list, like what I'm actually predicting will come out of the next ban list. So to top that off, for banned, I have either Jet Synchron or Tuning. It's going to be one or the other. And I think this because, again, Konami recognizes that these cards are just really strong. Like, these two and what they can do is just broken. And I think that looking at the past, when a deck becomes too broken and Konami goes to hit it, like with Sky Striker, the first time they hit it on the ban list, I forget which one, it didn't do anything. Like, Sky Striker was still like, okay, we have 3 engaged still, so good luck everyone else. Like, you know, and then with Salamangreat, they hit Will and Gazelle down to 1. And, you know, Salamangreat was still like, cool, I'll just continue doing everything I was already doing. And even now, Salamangreat is still like a rogue deck. Like, it's still viable even after Mirage Stallion has been hit. But I think Konami is going to ban either Jet Synchron or tuning, just because of what they can do and how powerful and how strong they are, especially together. And then for limited, I know Dazif has already called it, so I'm not breaking new ground here, but I think that they will limit Colossus. The same reason why I wanted it to be semi-limited, just kind of trying to remove more of my bias here and putting it on limited. I don't think putting it at limited will change the meta at all. I don't even think putting it at limited will put Thunder Dragon back on like the rogue tier. Will it be a better deck? Yes. Colossus is a redonkulous card in that archetype. Is it going to be as broken, as powerful, as just silly as it used to be? No, not at all. But you know, I think that bringing it back to limited will be. I think it'll be healthy for the game. I don't think anyone likes when a format, 2 format, 3 format, you know, it's just format after format of the same like 1 to 3 decks in the meta. That's what we had with Sky Striker, Orcust, Salamangreat. Like those 3 were in the meta for how long? Like top tier. How long? They like ridiculous. And you know, finally those have been taken out. You know, Harpor is banned, Engage banned, Salamangreat outshined. But you know, I think that Colossus can come back to 1 here, and it won't change the meta at all. Next, on limited, I think that the other card out of Jet Synchron and Tuning, I think that 1 is going to get banned and 1 is going to get limited. And again, I'd like to like call to the stand previous like ban lists. Like when Konami goes to hit something, they hit something hard. Like people wanted like Lunalight to get hit, so they just outright banned Tiger. And look at where the deck is now. Like I don't know anyone who's still playing it. Is it a good deck and can it still do things? I don't really know. The one time I played against a Lunalight deck, I Nibiru'd and kind of stopped them and then just OTK'd after that. So I really don't know. You know, is there a chance for Lunalight Tiger to come off the ban list here? Yes. If anything, it would come to limited, maybe, but we'll kind of just have to see what comes of that. But I think that Jet Synchron or Tuning is going to get banned, and then I think the other one is going to get limited. I think Konami, when they hit stuff and they really want to hit something, they hit it hard. Again, you know, a couple ban lists ago, they limited Gazelle and Will. Like, that was huge. Like, my roommate at the time was a Salamangreat player, and he was like, why do I even play the deck? Like, I can't do anything with this. And then it wasn't affected whatsoever, and Salamangreat continued to be amazing. So, c'est la vie. But I think that these 2 hits will happen. Am I probably wrong about that? Honestly, yeah, but do I think it's a possibility? Also, yeah. And then getting into the semi-limited list, I think Magical Meltdown is going to be semi-limited. Invoked is so crazy powerful. We've seen it in so many formats. Invoked Mech Knight is like stupid powerful. Invoked Shaddoll was like really broken for like, I don't know, 2 days. But there was like a week where everyone was terrified of Invoked Shaddoll, you know? And then now we have Invoked Eldritch, which like I don't really need to explain, but Invoked Eldritch, holy shit, that deck is good. But I think that Konami might try to hit it, and I think that if they do, they'll go and semi-limit Magical Meltdown. Really, people aren't playing 3 of them already, but if Konami outright hits Alistair or Invocation, they would just be straight up trying to kill the archetype. Again, it would be kind of like ABC Dragon Buster, Totally Awesome. Like, I think outright like limiting or banning Alistair or Invocation is just unfair to the archetype. And you know, there's literally a YouTuber named Invoked 101 whose whole shtick is Alistair the Invoker, and he's very good at it. He's kicked my ass every time we've dueled. I will own up to that. But like, you know, I think outright hitting like directly hitting Alistair or an Invocation is the wrong idea to go about it. But I think that semi-limiting or even limiting Magical Meltdown would be a much better way to hit the invoked engine without just outright killing it. And then on my semi-limited list, the next two are ABC Dragon Buster and Totally Awesome. I want them to come to Unlimited. I want the fan base to have these decks, to play these decks at the full power that they deserved. But I can't see Konami just be like, well, we messed up, we're just going to give it back to 3. I think that this upcoming ban list, they're going to put both these cards back to 2, and then on the next one, they'll put them both back to 3. You know, that can change depending on what this ban list actually looks like, but I think that that's what Konami should do. Well, I think they should just bring them back to Unlimited. I think it was unfair to the fans of these decks to just outright ban, or not outright ban, but limit both of them. But I think that they're gonna come back to semi-limited, and then the decks will start seeing a lot more play. But, you know, c'est la vie. And then I don't have anything on the Unlimited list here. I don't think anything on the ban list needs to come to Unlimited. If anything, like, I think Tour Guide from the Underworld could. I don't think it's like, I don't think that taking it from 2 to 3 would mess up anything, you know. Could it make Burning Abyss a lot stronger? I don't think so. I think that taking it from 2 and putting 3 copies in your deck wouldn't throw off the ratios too much, if that makes sense. So if anything, that could come back to 3, and I don't think it would change a whole lot. And then, like, you know, I don't think that they're going to put Servant of Endymion to Unlimited. I don't think it's going to come off Limited at all. Electromite, I don't think it will ever see the light of play again. I considered putting Firewall Dragon in Unlimited as a joke, and then I realized that I don't think anyone wants to joke about that just yet. We need to keep Firewall Dragon on as banned as humanly possible. As for other things, like, I'm trying to think if there's anything else on the ban list that could come back to Unlimited. Monster Reborn, maybe. I've seen talk about Max C coming to Unlimited. I don't think that's the greatest idea. You know, if you are playing Adamancipator and you need to summon all these monsters and create this massive board, and your opponent drops Max C, it's like, well, you can either create the board you want, or you cannot. And the pros and cons of both are very obvious. If you don't do it, you don't do it. The con is you messed up. The pro is your opponent doesn't draw a million cards. Then if you do set up your board, your opponent draws their entire deck, and then odds are they just steamroll you next turn because they have 10 cards in their hand. But no, I don't think anything is going to come back to Unlimited in the next ban list. I'm probably wrong about that. There's probably something I'm not thinking of. But yeah, that is my wish list and then my prediction list. Thank you guys so much for watching. This week is not episode 10. Episode 10 will probably take a while. I have a lot to prepare for that. I've already finished one of the surprises, and I'm like so ready for that because that's going to be fucking amazing. The other thing is I not really, but kind of need to figure out exactly what I'm doing for it. Which I have a really good idea. I just need to like iron it out, but we'll see what happens there. This Sunday is a deck profile. Sometime over the next week. I don't know if it'll come out this week or next week, and when it comes out, it will. I do have a more like miscellaneous video planned. It won't be Yu-Gi-Oh related, but it will be something. I just started getting the hiccups. I don't know why. It will be something that I have worked on and worked very hard on, and just kind of like want to share with you all. So that'll come out when it comes out. And because it's not Yu-Gi-Oh related, I probably won't promote it nearly as much. No offense to me. Trying to think if there's anything else. Because I'm gonna kind of use this end time as almost like announcements, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, again, that's my wish list and then my prediction list. Tell me what y'all think. I know it's kind of short. I know there's not a whole lot on here, and I know that it doesn't include anything that is the current meta right now because, again, I'm doing this based off of Konami wanting to sell products and also wanting to only use official tournaments to create their ban list. Because, there haven't been any official tournaments recently, so under that thought process, Konami won't be doing a ban list, if that makes sense. But again, let me know what y'all think. I think it's a viable prediction list, at least. The wish list, absolutely not, and I will admit that, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you all next time.